Hello, everyone. I hope I'm not muted, but welcome, everyone, to the LIBERcast episode 115. I want to before we're start, and I have the honor to have two guests on the show, and I'm gonna show them to you in a moment. But we're gonna do this one fast as usual. I'm doing my shameless plug of the One Great Work Network. This is an aggregate of a network of aggregate of people who are concentrating their energy onto freedom, natural law, the trivium, psychology, and many other things like abolitionism that I like very much from Corey. And by example, we have the Will Kellers and Kris Jensen, Corey. We have Darian Sarrazin, who's a French girl in Taiwan. So French stuff there. If you're interested in French, plenty of things to cover. And indeed, we have the all the work of Mark Passio that I consider gold into this world. Appreciate the work. So tonight it's not gonna be pleasing. It was a long needed rant about this situation we have with the community, and I'm talking philosophically and spiritually and more the aspect of the cognitive dissonance that is omnipresent in all these subcultures and subcommunities and communities that are actually supposedly working together to have freedom. And I'll try to stay as calm as I can, but usually when I'm planning this is because I have things to say to the people. And so before I'm introducing people, the LIBERcast is an open podcast. Means that if you have knowledge, personal knowledge that you want to share to people, and you're comfortable, you don't have to do it on with video. You can only do it in audio, and having this conversation together and sharing your knowledge. And I'm looking for French people, and I'm looking for English people. The LIBERcast is bilingual. Psychology, astrology, tarot, psychology, the occult. I inviting you. I taking people who want to share it. So my message is, here we go. Derek and Kris, thank you for being there tonight, guys.
Yeah, bonjour.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to start on a high note. I want to keep some of this.
We'll build it up after the low points, man. As you wish.
I would fucking climb the fucking mountain. It's as much as of energy I have to share with people, about this, because it touches me personally. What we're going to talk about tonight is the political freedom movement. It's all these subgroups, these pretentious people, fucking going outside and waving the flag of freedom, supposedly. And seriously, people, what we're gonna do tonight, and I want to give a caveat before we're starting. I'm not talking to people who are already doing the work. What I mean is doing the work is fucking get involved. This is what it means. So if the app doesn't fit so good for you, okay, because there's a lot of people that I'm pointing out. I'm not gonna say names. I'm not gonna push up and say the name of groups or community, because I it's not my habit to do that. But I'm gonna fucking point out some things there. So if you already are doing the work and you come from the outside of it and you don't know about it, then it's good for you. But tonight it's gonna be about that. Nothing that is gonna be covered tonight is gonna be a new thing. We're not inventing things. We're not like imagining things. And it's not my belief. I don't believe in anything. I know myself. I know my children. I know the world. I know nature. I know God. I don't believe in it.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not going to be about belief.
That's the enemy of gnosis, huh?
Exactly.
What you mean, yeah.
If you don't care that people are suffering, if you don't care about slavery and tyranny, if you don't care about the well-being of other people, this podcast isn't for you. And I'm not going to ask you gently to take the door. Fuck off. It's simple as that. I'm not fucking messing around. I'm fucking getting passion already. Because I won't get people to give this information in people's head. You're not happy with what you hear? Just take the fucking door. Fuck off. I don't need you. What I'm trying to do here on the LIBERcast is having the people or responsible adults. I don't care about what you listen like music or what fucking politic or religion you're into. I don't give a fuck. All I care is truth and love. I have a love for truth and I respect it. So if tonight you think you're gonna it's gonna be a funny fucking sparkly fucking podcast tonight, it's not gonna be that. It's not your night tonight. Skip this one. If you're ready to hear some things, if you're ready to put your fucking belief and your fucking programming aside for a minute, fucking I'm getting angry. This is a place for freedom. I don't give a fuck what you feel. I don't give a fuck. I've been very bold about that. I've been very honest from the beginning on the LIBERcast. If it's not for you, I don't care losing people. I'm gonna keep the best. I don't give a fuck. This is one I'm looking for teachers. I'm looking for people who wants to create leaders. I'm not a leader. I want to create people who wants to lead themselves to do their own work voluntarily. I'm not here to fucking sell you something. and something that is we're not perfect. Nothing is perfect. Am I better than the other? No, certainly not. Do I know some things that can change or fucking awake you, supposedly? Maybe. You know, I'm very fucking bold and honest with that. So I wanted to make it clear for the people before we're starting the conversation. In light of what is happening, and I see it everywhere. I see it everywhere. I look at the red pill movement and the black pill movement and the atheists and the religionists and the occultists and everything that finish with EST or ESM. And you know, we're not out of the hole, people. I've seen something, you know, Mark Passio mentioned it, you know, we are winning. I saw that. I saw these people fucking making some posts or something like that, or having a t-shirt, and we're winning. We're fucking winning. Yeah. I've seen people fucking flag with the flag waving in the air with fucking liberty right in all of it, and these motherfuckers are going right back to the fucking urn and vote their fucking consent, vote their fucking souls and the souls of the children. At this point, if you're voting, if you're partaking into politics and government, you're fucking retarded. You're a retarded person. With all the information that we have now, all the fucking lies, corruption, theft, and that's only a part of what we know that happened. And I want to talk about something, talking about the freedom fighters, you know, and the master slave dynamic. Derek, if you want to share about that.
Ooh, are you alluding to the fact that there's some kind of disturbance in the force, if you will, or in regards to people's own path work or the great work? You know, what is their magus opus as far as, you know, what is their contribution towards whatever movement? Are we moving towards freedom? It doesn't really seem that way. We have a lot of stagnant waters that are, you know, due to, you know, infighting and just a lot of convoluted information, whether it be misinformation, whatever, and half truths and the whole fucking nine, right? And so it's really a shame that, you know, there's a lot of lack of unity within the community. So we really can't call it a community because, you know, you got to spell community with that unity. And there's been some discord and people chomping at the bit a little too much or overzealously, if you will, and, you know, criticisms of, you know, people, prominent truth speakers, you know, attitudes or actions, this and that. Like, all right, well, you know, what are they doing? You know, how can we just, you know, like put certain things aside? Yes, it's one thing to hold people accountable, but, you know, at the same time, like, what is the individual doing at the same time? And I know Kris has some good discourse, if you will, with certain things in recent past. And yeah, with that, I might pass it to you. Not like you have to get into that or whatever, but just generalizing this and that. We're not on here to like name names or anything like that. But yeah, these things need to be brought up. And yeah, Fred, I appreciate you having us on to kind of just, address some things and like, hey, let's break it down to brass tacks and, focus on the fucking priority, which is what you said, fucking freedom and the real truth, all caps, and staying aligned to the divine, natural law, cosmic law, whatever y'all want to call it. Just make sure that it's the fucking legit shit, not new age stuff or religious crap or, Yeah, Kris, what's good, man?
Yeah, the master-slave dynamic.
Yeah, regarding community and unity, I've talked about this a lot in my work from 8 to 10 years ago. The only true unity is based in morality. So if people are not united on that base of morality, there is no actual unity possible. So the only true community you can have is based on true unity, and that would be based on objective morality. And whatever level of morality you're at, I have a slide on that. Walk on the path that you're on with others that are like you. So there's different levels that you can be aligned with objective morality. And those who are more aligned with it, well, they might not want to walk with others who aren't as aligned with them, and that's fine. And yeah, so there's like different levels of unity based on the different levels of morality that we're embodying within ourselves through our actions. And the goal is to try to get people to understand what objective morality is and have them care for truth, have that true care, to want to embrace truth and embody that truth, that moral truth within themselves. That's what part of my slogan is on my site, is truth unites. Truth is love, love is truth, truth unites, lies divide, embrace truth, care for truth. And you got to bring it in. You got to care enough to go seek it and then embrace it and take it into yourself so that you live it. And that's mostly about moral truth. That's the most important truth there is for us to use as a foundation to build upon in our lives, or have above us as an authority when we author in our lives in true sovereignty, is to have either you can look at it below you as a foundation or above you as an authority. Either way, it comes down to the same thing. And so that's what I wanted to mention about unity and community is those are hard things to build. And community, there's never, maybe there would have been, like, at whatever level of consciousness people have in common with respect to their level of moral alignment, then they could have a community at that level. But if you're at another level, then, well, you're in that community, but you're not truly aligned with it because you're at a higher level, or maybe you're at a lower level and the community is more moral than you and you're more immoral. So it can work either way. And it deals with one of the the subjects of what you're a part of, Derek, the One Great Work Warriors. We talked about compromise, and that's something I've talked about too. And there's the movie The Watchmen, and Rorschach is the hero of that movie because he doesn't compromise, not even in the face of Armageddon. So unfortunately, we do have to compromise, and we have to compromise and form alliances even with people who aren't at our particular level of moral alignment. And so you're not really going to be able to build a community with them, but you can engage in the battle to end evil. In that battle that we're in, we have to remove our own participation in evil and stop tolerating evil. And the participation in evil is what I call morality level 1, and the toleration of evil, once you work to not tolerate it, well, that's doing the great work, and that's being morality level 2. And if you're not doing the great work, then you're essentially tolerating it, and that means you're in immorality level 2. It's not a level 1. A level 1 is where you're engaging in violence, where you're inherently initiating harm. So if you're not doing that, you have a right to do not the great work because you're not inherently initiating harm, but it's not the right thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do because you're just saying, hey, there's evil all around. Well, I'm not going to lift a damn finger to do anything about it, and evil can just continue running amok. And because we're we're living in immoral societies, so the very fact that we're in that like fakeness of a community, that false way of life, we ourselves are forced into immorality. So we can't be purely as moral as we could be in a moral society because we're in that society and we contribute to it. And that's how we're giving our energy. We're going with the flow of evil, and the only way to combat the flow is we're in a herd in a valley. We're all in a herd, and we're heading towards the cliff, and the cliff is our own self-destruction, our own greater enslavement. And what we have to do to change the direction of the herd is we have to communicate with the other human animals to say, hey, look, we're going in this direction. It's not a good direction. We need to change our course. We need to change direction. But you're in a herd, you're all going together, and you can't get out of it. It's like being a drop of water in a stream. Well, you're going where the stream is going. So when we're in our current condition, well, that's the current we're going in, and the condition will perpetuate. And there's those steering the condition, which are the social engineers and the dark occultists, the sorcerers, whatever you want to call them, the hidden hands. So they're steering the current and the future of humanity. And if we want to change the current to something that's more optimal and beneficial for all of us, then we have to communicate with the other water droplets or the other animals in the herd charging off the cliff, say, hey, let's change direction. And the more that agree to this new direction, then we can eventually shift to that direction and not head off the cliff, or change the direction of the stream so that it goes in a better direction. And then we can get towards that actualization of true unity together and moral unity and building an actual real community. Because as Passio's mentioned, a real relationship is based in truth, where the people are connected to truth. So if you're not actually connected to moral truth and at the same level of moral truth, then you won't have true unity. So our ultimate goal is to get to that. And the way to get to it is to do the great work of, ultimately the highest part of the great work is moral education. And you have other parts to that, which is understanding the self, psychology, consciousness, and other aspects of ideas that deal with our barriers to facing ourselves, the shadow, the darkness, the demon, the evil, the immorality within ourselves, and overcoming it, transmuting and sublimating it. And so all this has to do with like psychological aspects. And then there's the aspects of, so that's all towards the how and why to end evil, how to end evil, and why we need to end evil. And to get there, people need to become aware of that there is evil, that we are in evil. So that's the lower part of the great work, because it deals with peoples and events instead of the realm of ideas, the plane of causality. So that lower level is the plane of effects of what's manifested in our world in terms of the evil, the immorality, the violence, the enslavement. And so they need to become aware of the evil so that they can care that there's evil going on and they're a part of it, it's happening to them. So then they can care that there is a problem, because if you don't know there's a problem, then you won't actually care about a solution. You can say, hey, we need to do moral education, and be like, well, why would I need to do that? I don't give a shit about that, because they don't even know the importance of it. So a solution means nothing to someone who doesn't realize there's a problem. So they need to become aware of that there is evil, that there are these things going on, and then they can care about the evil, and then they can care to want to find a solution, and they can care to seek out and understand what that solution is, and then they can care to enact that solution, which is ultimately the highest part of that is moral education, so that people understand morality, so that we can then eventually reach that goal of unity and community, truly connected to truth altogether.
Beautifully said. And I wanted to, because the master-slave dynamic and its connection with cognitive dissonance. And in order to have unity, like you so beautifully said, we have to have this education. We have to get further than where we are at now. So we have a population who is willingly ignorant, willingly complacent, and they don't care about truth. They don't care about right and wrong because they were thought like that. Because their fucking parents were broken, because their relative were broken, they were statists, immoral people, bad people. So if you have garbage in, you have garbage out. It's the principle of correspondence. So if you don't have the foundation for morality, if you don't have the foundation for introspection, it's building a house onto sand, over sand. You don't have education, and I'm talking about you guys, but the people. You don't have the education to give your you don't have respect for yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't you don't respect your own boundaries, you fucking prostitute yourself for many reasons. A lot of you people are doing the lowest things to acquire money. I think prostituting, you're selling your fucking soul. This is what you're doing. And the responsibility comes from the people. It's not where we have to stop pointing out to entities and governments and starting to look ourselves in the mirror. How do we behave as individual? Are we behaving into the collective, into the community? Being responsible. We don't have that. We have children, grown-ass children, who they go vote, and they go give their fucking consent. They go sell their souls, for service, for convenience. And the justification are endless. People are straight up Satanists. They don't even know that. There's a bunch of fucking pretentious people in the freedom movement, and some people, they're into minarchists, minarchists are politicians, they're selling you bullshit. I've fucking seen that myself. I've seen the degradation of the people. It's my, I think, 10 or even 12 years. I've seen shit. And I know some people will, if you have experiences, I'm sure there's a lot of people who will fucking identify themselves with that. There's first of all, I mean, there's no justification for all this shit happening. First of all, the people who are in the freedom movement aren't adults, aren't responsible, aren't aware, aren't woke. What's this expression? People are telling, I'm woke because I know about meditating and eating well, fucking regurgitating the bullshit that they see on to the new age publication, the new age movies that are out. They're everywhere. And now the people are choosing to be hypnotized willingly. They know it's about that, and they're still going there. It's like TV, fucking television.
And how woke is TV these days,
There's this this laziness, this cowardly behavior of not looking into the truth, not searching for it, not not willing, not caring. It's a fucking disease. And this fucking disease is in the community, the freedom communities. Moral relativists, they're everywhere. There's a resurgence of Christianity, actually. It's no coincidence. People are fucking lost. People are fucking confused. And instead of fucking doing the work and doing the introspection, they're gonna go elsewhere, searching for a daddy, searching for a mommy. This is what you're fucking doing, people. You're looking for a parental guidance. You're looking for guidance from people who don't give a fuck about you. The government doesn't give a fuck about you. All they want is money, religions, cults, clubs. Even community. Now, it's on the full-on retardation of social media. I think it was bad before. I was wrong. It's bad, people. We have this technology who give us the ability of communicating easily. We have this connection. We can build networks. Some exist, some people started some networks. Some people started groups and things like that on the internet. But the fucking thing is there. It's like the QAnon, and they're getting all in the fucking same group, in the same community, and they're fucking jerking themselves off of this information. They don't give a fuck about your children. They don't give a fuck about their freedom. They're caring about their own fucking freedom. They care. What they're fucking doing is they're fueling on fear porn, war porn. They like this shit. They're rubbing themselves with it. They like this military porn, this garbage. The minarchists. Let's talk about this shit. The anarchists, the pseudo-anarchist community. What the fuck are you doing, people? You cannot fucking even get together on one fucking idea. What is anarchy? What is abolitionism? What is morality? What is freedom? Because I'm not gonna fucking spread you with chocolate tonight. I'm gonna spread you with fucking pickle juice tonight. The freedom community and even the occult and the spirituality, you're all fucking sleeping on gas. You missed the fucking train when it happened, when it came by. And some of them, just imagine metaphorically that we're in a marathon and we're running, until the end, and you have these fucking losers. They're pulling on your t-shirt, because they cannot they cannot get into it. They cannot go over you, past you. They're the fucking losers. And they're holding us back. Minarchists are it's a joke. There's no way these people can justify the use of violence and coercion and duress, gaslighting, blackmail, theft. Oh, I don't want to have like four. I don't want to have to get hit by a stick 4 times. I'm gonna choose 1 time. I don't want to get slapped on my ass 4 times. I want just 1 time. They're gonna get these fucking rhetorics. Oh, we're gonna just have a little bit of government. Government is slavery. 1% of government is still slavery.
For sure.
It needs
And,
only 2 people.
Fred, if you don't mind, and
Sure.
just real quick, and I'd like to hear your response. Just play like devil's advocate for people, because I feel like some people feel like to counteract this, totalitarian tiptoe, if you will, as I think that was David Icke who coined that, something like that. But or to kind of flip the script on that, maybe some people have just, we're all fragmented, with however level of awareness you're at, whatever awakeness you are, and don't go for the fucking 4-letter word version of it, because that's the perversion of it in regards to the wokeness, actually, aka spiritually brokenness. But anyways, I feel like people feel like they think it's a decent route to kind of reverse engineer the totalitarian tiptoe and mosey on over towards the side of anarchy, even if they're satisfied with the libertarian side of things or whatever. They feel like it's still better than, like you said, like I'd rather get hit with a stick 1 time than 4 times, and that's better than nothing. But yeah, at the same time, it's like the allegory of the Ring of Power, not the fucking bullshit Amazon movie. I'm talking about the Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien's actual, literature, where if you think of that Ring of Power that will corrupt all who touches it, no matter how divine they are, think of that as representing, this idea of, false authority, aka fucking government, aka slavery, aka mind control, all this shit. So we can fiddle around with it all we want. Ultimately, it's not gonna have an established, hermetically sealed society, a place where there's actual freedom and, there's not any duress or people being oppressed and all that jazz. Yes, we're still, up to our own devices, but I feel like without, all this fucking domination and control and the divide and conquer tactics, I think we can do a lot better than what the fuck's going on right now. And people are steered in so many different directions on how we can fix the system or break it down and smash whatever Archie, especially the patriarchy and all this stuff. But what about the gynocracy, as Mario West talks about? And there's so many things to consider that people aren't really, we can all be all, like happy, joy, like, yeah, we're all in this together. And like people got certain pieces of the puzzle and this and that. But like, how much toxic shit are they still holding on to? Aside from that good pieces of puzzle that they got, So it's like, at this pretty dark hour, like what the fuck are we actually doing? And how are people actually going through their daily lives, their daily practices, doing the fucking alchemical process on a daily fucking basis? It's not a fucking buzzword or any fucking virtue signaling crap like that to be like, oh, I'm spiritual, I know alchemy and this and that. Nah, yeah. let's bring it down back to earth. You ain't going to fucking 5D. You know, like, I don't think a lot of y'all even touch fucking 4D, you know? So a lot of things to consider, you know? So yeah, at the same time, there's a lot of action lacking. It's, even with those that have the proper foundation laid down and the gnosis,
Yep.
right? We have to like do something better. Like, there's more to life than, you know, sitting behind a computer and a microphone and making videos and stuff. We actually need like boots on the ground fucking action. And yes, this, what we're doing right here, is fucking magic. Of course, it always will be. Yet, you know, we need that real life action and interaction with people in the reality field. And even like folks, you know, just like you're going to a store and talk to some people, like work your magic any way you can. Use that like the law of persuasion, if you will, or the art of persuasion. And yeah, there's so many approaches we can take to these things. And you know, we could take advantage of the resources, even the fucking bullshit mainstream things that are, you know, like, what is it, meets.com or meetup.com, and just create a group, you know, make a title, be like, all right, freedom lovers, whatever. Even though, and that's the thing, which is kind of cool, because so many people have so many different ideas of what freedom is, right? Y'all know the whole thing with the mini-me Satanism or the My Freedom movement and all this shit. And the convolution of people's interpretations of, you know, simple definitions of simple fucking words, right? But, you know, invite the people that don't necessarily know about natural law and get them keyed in so they can be more activated into these things, you know? So wherever we are on the map, like, bonjour, I'm in France, you know, and I could be doing a lot more, you know, in real life at the same time. I always say these things to remind myself, you know, but yeah, at the same time, it's like, hey, if you're not good at making videos, you don't want to do that, and you're like holding back on just like that one thing, guess what? There's so many other things you can do. Like, are you writing things? Are you able to submit fucking articles to like someone like Corey Angelate, who has his Liberator 2 news journal that is accepting fucking shit all that fucking time? So, you know, who's actually taking advantage and looking into things of how they can actually participate and be an active player in this, because we need as many people as we can. This is our fucking lives, y'all. Like, straight up.
Yep.
So yeah. What's good over there in Canada, Kris? I forget where you are, but yeah.
I'm in the same place as Fred, unfortunately, in Quebec.
Ah,
Yeah,
money.
it's fucking shitty.
It's yeah, it's pretty shitty.
Yeah. So
yeah, go ahead,
you
Fred.
wanted to
I
add
don't
something?
really have much.
Okay. So in a one sense, I understand people that they're afraid and they're fearful and stressed and anxious. I understand that. I understand people are lazy, they're cowardly, they're apathic, they don't care. I know that. And doesn't makes it, it's not a reason to stop doing something. Even if you're, you know, you're walking metaphorically and you're getting into a wall, then you have to go through this fucking wall. What is happening is that we had the chance to unite. We had the chance to work together and work on the same page, and we didn't took it. We fucked up. We all fucked up. It's not, I'm not blaming anyone on that. I'm not naming names. I'm saying it's everyone. Everyone wasn't that. We fucked up bad, you know? And what is happening now? It's getting worse and getting worse and getting worse. And people are like, well, nothing is happening, everything is good, everything is fine, it's all just an experience. Fucking cowardly people. People with children, people who don't have children, they're involved, and they're doing their shit, and some of them are doing a great job. Some are some people who are in the society. I'm not fucking generalizing. Not all people are bad, but not all, but a lot of people. And I have the experience. I have the chance to work into a place where it's community oriented. It's helping. It's help. It's getting fucking giving our best to make the life of other better. And it's not hard, people. You just have to fucking stop lying to yourself and get your head out of your ass for just 1 fucking minute. Look around you. Children are treated like shit. Worse than shit. The people are send them their children to school, and they know it's bad, oh, but have to pay my big house and my big car, have to do my payments. Yeah. And the well-being of your children. No, you let someone else educate your children. It's I mean now as we talk, I think the people who are sending their children to school are irresponsible, knowing exactly what is happening now in the schools, all the indoctrination, all the programs, the new programs in there. They're getting dumber and dumber and dumber with the time. They're good with their fucking tablets, and they're good with their cellular when they're getting out in the real world. They're fucking disabled. They cannot go and have interaction with other people, because they're too shy, or they don't care,
And Fred, now with AI, how many more life skills are going to fall to the wayside? That is really a slippery slope of some scary shit that every parent needs to consider. Future parents, all that stuff, like,
yeah, blow your mind.
even people in real life, like, just like whatever age you are, don't let AI take over your life. Like be the real AI, which I like to say, circumvent or flip the script. Like, are you an activated individual? Like, we are the true intelligence. There's no generative principle in this fucking machinery. Soulless bullshit. Yeah, Fred, I'll let you finish. Yeah, I just want to say that.
What is happening, Derek, at the Ile de la Madeleine near Quebec?
No, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
They're gonna need a QR code to get out of the Ile de la Madeleine.
What?
Yep.
It's just another symptom of the
China
problem of the belief in authority. It's just another symptom,
Yep.
It'll just keep getting worse. So it's like, like, okay, well, there's another one, there's another one, there's another thing, there's another thing, there's another thing. It's not going to change until people change their consciousness.
It's not gonna happen, brother. It's not gonna happen.
Causal fact?
Unlikely. The possibility's there, but it's unlikely. It's not looking too good.
I've been warning people for years, but
but
go on, Derek.
We're like, how did we grow up? Like, people that weren't so poor, or even got out of poverty, whatever. Even still, people that are poor, they have a cell phone, a place to sleep, whatever. So the fact that people are in a comfort zone, they can come complacent quite quickly, and going through the whole hamster wheel life that's created within the matrix, like it creates so much confusion, and people just go through like half of their life. What is this midlife crisis about? It's like, oh wow, I wasted all this time doing what again? All these things. And so to recalibrate and re-educate and all that stuff takes a shitload of time. But yeah, like the compromise of all these things of, all right, yeah, we're comfortable. We see the fuckery. Even people that are aware, quite aware, half aware, whatever. Like, all right, still, again, like, what are we actually doing? Who are you in network with? What is your relationship with yourself, first and fucking foremost? Like people can read, oodles of books. That's great. I'm thoroughly impressed. But sometimes I'm not impressed by the shitty ass fucking behaviors, as if they didn't fucking learn the right things from these books that they read. Like, what the fuck is knowledge if it's not properly performed in the right wisdom, in the, to be a proper fucking force in nature and be one with the force of nature towards fucking freedom. And, like, shit, it really ain't that hard. The equations are quite simple. But yeah, obviously things have been obfuscated, diluted and polluted and distorted, perverted, all that shit. But yeah, like I really encourage people to we really got to take things further. And so, like, as far as like networking, what can we actually do in your local communities? Like what kind of task force can we create? I'm not talking about like any kind of militia type of shit, although we can go there because it seems like it's going there, unfortunately. But to make things more simple, like what's up with just, having like a handful of people and just like standing outside with signs in front of a police station, be like, hey, do you know you guys are upholding slavery? Like, what are you guys doing? Do you like your job? That kind of stuff. Just, all these things, people want to throw out memes all day long. And that's the complacency as well. The social media effect it has on people, even truth seekers and speakers, because yeah, we're we're chilling. We got the air conditioning or whatever, the heater and this and that. We're not out in the fucking cold with a picket sign like before. And even if that isn't that all effective, people still see that across the world and are still inspired to actually rise up against fucking oppressive shit. Right. So who's actually, sending emails to fucking Monsanto and all these things still, who's actually knocking on the gates of Bill Gates, the gates of hell, whatever the hell. But yeah. So, there's, like I said, there's so many different ways we can take the approach. And yes, I kind of feel like I fall into a complacent thing, even though I've created like hundreds of videos. We can still do so much more. So for people to be like, oh, like this new age notion of like, hey, we're all just out here doing our best and this and that. Who the fuck is actually at their fucking prime optimal best at this fucking point? Like very few. So yeah, it's nice to have something like wishy-washy like that to kind of humble people down that are on an ego trip. But at the same time, like, no, like we have so much more potential. We have fucking dormant DNA that can be activated, y'all. What the fuck? And people aren't even operating on a, mini multidimensional level within themselves, as in the triune brain. What the fuck? Not, go look at Chris Nelson's website, please. evolveconsciousness.org. And like, you're up to like 12 hours on just like going over the whole science of morality, right? So, and you cover all these things of, operating from the plane of causes or operating from the plane of effects. And how do you feel powerful or powerless in whatever one? Like, hey, it's a science. Go discover it for yourself. This is your life. Like natural law, science of life, coaches, consciousness, cosmic law, natural law, karmic law, spiritual law. Like, hey, like, let's just make it simple and hit him with that natty law. But yeah, I mix hip hop and all that stuff. I can throw a little slang up at my thing, and that's just, I try to appeal to a lot of different people that aren't all like intellectual minded, you know, like there's so many different ways we can approach bringing forth proper knowledge for people to wise up to, you know, like, okay, yeah, like this is the right path. These are actually like things I can relate with and apply to my life and make shit better. Holy shit, yeah. I can maneuver through the matrix a little bit better. I can actually tell my people and articulate shit better and have them, you know, look at me as a role model because I'm actually embodying this shit and living this shit. And they look at me like, holy smokes, man, you're looking like a stellar human being. What are you eating? Or, you know, like, what are you consuming? Soul food, you know, consumption. What are you digesting? How are you ingesting? Or, you know what I mean? Like all these things that need to be considered with every little thing that comes through any little orifice and whatever you're speaking out afterwards, right? So, yeah. We have 2 ears, we have 1 mouth, we have to listen a little bit more than what we speak forth. And yes, abracadabra, mother lovers, you know, be mindful of your words, you know. But
I
yeah,
just want to bring a comment there. I always insist that there's a scientific front to the great work that no one ever talks about. Essentially, it's not true. It's not true because natural law is a science, and you can study all the principles there through natural context. So the as above, so below, you can see it. The mentalism, the gender principle. It's not because it's not written into books and you don't learn that in school that it's not true, that it's not a science. And certainly there's people outside, maybe not in the one great work, but outside of the people who are doing the connection together. There's many things that can be considered. So that's a great comment there. I like it, you know, because it gives another layer to this. But this fucking subject there, I mean, we can I usually I can like do it for hours, but I really want, I took some notes there about that. And what I want to talk about is the master slave dynamic and the rise of victimhood. So now you have this trend. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are victims now. They have the mentality of a victim. I deserve
And I
that.
just want to
I
mention
don't deserve that.
entitlement. Entitlement is big related to that.
Yes, exactly. So there's many cult, Marxist, the cult of the alphabets. Now they're very popular, you know, even though they are less than 1% of the people. You know, all this fucking shit pushed around the kids. And people,
recruitment.
it's okay, you know, just send your kid there, you know, and getting brainwashed into being a fucking monster, because this is what is gonna happen. You're gonna breed a fucking monster, and you know what, they're gonna die very soon in their lives. They're gonna kill themselves, or they're gonna get killed by someone else. When I was talking about all this generation who have been raised by tablets and cell phones and screens, you know, the god of the blue light. We all know this one. I've seen it myself. Oh, my children, you know, they have that. They're very good. You know, they're learning very fast. Yeah, yeah. You send them outside, you know, playing in the dirt, getting hurt. You know, the true things of life. Fucking they're irresponsible fucking humans. That's what we have as a population in general. You know, I'm generalizing. They're irresponsible, immature, immoral people. And for the people, so, well, morality, you know, depends on what people it is. Yeah. I have a good example for you. You know, you don't know what morality, well, morality is based on what is wrong and what is right to do. If you don't know that at this point and you're an adult, you're fucking retarded. You're just fucking retarded. And I'm going to say it like Mark Passio, you're just dumb. There's no justification to not know it. There's no justification to not do the introspection. There's no justification to government. There's no justification for a little bit of government. There's no justification for pseudo anarchism. The anarchists gonna the pseudo voluntarist fucking, there's communists now, communist anarchists, you know, a bunch of them fucking mongoloids. You are doing a disservice to us all.
Isn't that an oxymoron though? Anarcha-commie? What the hell is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen them, you know, I've talked with them, you know, I've seen a lot of people. I talk with a lot of people. Is there true anarchists? Is there a lot of true anarchists? No. And one of them that I know is a Christian. It's common sense, people. How do you know if you're doing right or wrong when you don't know what is doing something that does not hurt someone? I've repeated it. You know, a lot of people repeated that shit, but I'm pounding people with this information almost all the time. And all these moral relativists, they are in the anarchy movement, they are in the freedom movement, you know, they think they can decide what's right and wrong. Fucking monarchist and democratic fucking parties shitting from their mouth, you know, fucking regurgitating propaganda from like 800 years ago. They're all the same. They're all the same. Even if he's your fucking neighbor, he's still a fucking parasite. That's what they're doing. Politicians are fucking parasites.
Hey Fred, have you ever broken down that word? Politic?
Yeah, politic is mean a polyvalent tick. Yeah, it's a bloodsucker.
Exactly, that motherfucker. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, so yeah, politics. Yeah. I cannot even fucking believe this shit. You know, I've seen that, you know, there's someone, I don't want to name his name. But this motherfucker, he had me, you know, on this live, and I did a presentation about natural law. And this motherfucker told me that natural law didn't exist for humans, it was only for animals.
That's the problem. People don't have the proper definition of terms, so they can't understand what you're talking about, because for them it means something else.
Keep on repeating this shit all the time, brother. All the time. Almost every time I'm doing a French podcast, I'm talking about this.
What, is he stuck on Darwin's dick or what the hell, man? I don't get it.
They're completely dishonest. completely dishonest. There's no honesty there. There's no truth behind what they're doing. They're liars. All of them are liars. Oh, they care about you if you give them money, if you give them validation. This is a madhouse, people. We are in fucking crazy land, circus with clowns, you know, fucking fucking throwing the balls, you know. All I see is fucking clowns, sad clowns. And most of them, you know, they think they're doing the good thing. I don't care about what their opinion is. I don't give a fuck. Nobody has been able to justify government. Ever. In any conversation I had, nobody has been able to justify the use of government, of violence. Ever. So for the people who have seen that, you know, if it is not enough for you to fucking wake up, you know, from your deep sleep, then you're just ignorant. And ignorance is the root of all evil. So what does it makes of you? So voting is a form of violence because you're stealing consent and you're stealing the choice of other people, of not partaking in it. Even if you have a majority who are taking a decision, they can still be wrong. They can still be evil. They can still be immoral fucking assholes who don't care about the freedom of other people. They don't care. This is what I'm dealing with. We're dealing with grown-ass children. And even children, it's an insult for children. My children are fucking smart, brother. My children are beautiful. They're intelligent. They're wise. They understand well. And when it comes to adults, you know, they have been indoctrinated. They've been fucking smudged with all this fucking propaganda. And everybody told, oh, you did great. You did your civil duty. You know, you did your job, you know. Been a good sheep. I cannot fucking stand that shit. I don't care what people think. I'm gonna put a post on Facebook and I'm gonna ask people, how do you fucking justify the use of government? What is the justification for this situation, this context? And don't fucking write to me, oh, it's for the roads or the services. I don't give a fuck about that. We can fucking maintain the roads ourselves. We can grow our own food. Even here in Quebec, in Canada, we can still fucking do it. No, because people are fucking immoral retards. And yes, I'm gonna insult people. I don't give a fuck. I told that to someone who said, oh, if the government doesn't, you know, import food, you know, and doing like that, we're gonna miss. Motherfuckers, we just have to build some places, and it's gonna make some work for people, and you grow food right from the local place. You dumb fucks. You don't have to really think hard about it. If every community have a place where they can grow food, meat or vegetables or eggs or things like that that people want to eat, it's easy breezy just like that. 2 years, give me 2 years, man, and this abundance will spread. If there's poverty, if there's violence, if there's government, it's because people fucking consent to it. Poverty is one of the worst crime on humanity that has happened. You know why? Because people like this shit. They like to see people suffer. They don't fucking care about that. They don't care. They rather fucking pass their way, and fucking ignore these people who are fucking dying from freezing and pay their fucking expensive coffee for $12.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll say something to the contrary, but in correspondence to what you said, is actually they do care about our suffering. They want to make sure that we suffer and have that perpetual sufferance for them to leech off of our fucking energy, a la the fucking parasite leech, whatever the fuck, all that stuff, right? So that's the kind of cycle we have to fucking break, and just yeah, like as far as like the allegory with the ring of all power. Yes, we do have to throw it into the fucking the place where it can be destroyed, whatever, like Mount Doom. I don't want to be all cliche with that, getting all Hollywood and shit, but the allegory of we have to fucking raise this whole idea, like raise it to the fucking ground, burn it to the fucking ground, whatever the hell you want to call it, of authority, and establish something of the communal, hey, the abundance, the win-win, we're all standing on sacred ground. What the hell the fuck do people think natural law is? It's not the natural order of anything that anyone fucking thinks of, animals and the, whatever predatorial, all this shit, dude. What the hell people think with that? And in the same token, people want to talk about spirituality. Like, y'all missed a link there. But anyways, maybe they still think they evolved from apes, whatever the fuck. But yeah,
Let's talk about something juicy, brother.
go for it. Yeah.
So you have the master slave dynamic. Let's talk about something that is spicy. How are we treating our brothers and sisters of the kingdom of the animals?
Clearly,
That's-
very well. Clearly, we're doing
yes,
a great job. Great job.
they're fucking ritualistically kill them all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year.
Yeah, but it's okay because they're not humans. What are you talking about? We own them. Don't you know we own them? They're our property.
Yeah, so this is a comparison. Why are we still enslaved? It's because we are considering ourselves better than the others. So for the people who are, I strongly disagree with cutting meat from people, the access from meat. I don't want people to, I don't want to force anyone to do it, because it's I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your body. I don't give a fuck. But knowing the sheer amount of violence that we're unleashing our brothers and sisters, there are our brothers and sisters from this world. We're treating them like garbage. You see that, it's everywhere, and I'm not just talking about the meat industry. Breeding, fur, Yeah. Cognitive dissonance. I don't want to eat my cat, but I'm fucking killing a pig. And for most people who are there, and they're saying, "Oh my god, they're eating meat," motherfucker. If someone gives you a fucking knife and you have to kill your fucking food, how many of you are fucking willing to do it? And I'm not talking fucking taking a gun and you fucking slit their throat. You're fucking taking their lives. Because for the people I consider, the people who are hunting with guns, I think they're lazy people. They're cowards.
No, those are the real men. Don't you know? You got to be manly. You got to be a hunter to be a man. Don't you know that?
If you want to really deserve something, go in the fucking wood and get a knife and go fight for your food, motherfucker. There's a lot of people who wouldn't fucking do it. And
naturally abhorrent, like a child.
When you talk about killing an animal, excuse me, Kris, I'm gonna give you the voice. And for the people, it's like some people were doing is, are you killing just for pleasure? Or are you gonna take the legs and go out and fucking disrespect the animal by not taking everything? Is it necessary to kill? Nope. Do we need that to survive? Nope. Is it moral to do that? No, it's not. Why do I'm saying that? Because you are doing violence unto another being. Sentient being. I don't care what you think, people. I don't give a fuck. You're treating, and for the people, and you like your steak, good for you. But I don't think they deserve, as such, as beings, to be treated like garbage. And how do you justify violence? Go on, Kris. You wanted to say something?
Well, my taste buds matter more than their life, don't you know?
Yep.
Obviously. Like, come on. My tongue and my mouth, that's clearly more important than them. Don't you know that? Doesn't everybody know that? It's obvious. It's just, that's the natural law, right? Is my taste buds and what I want to eat is just, that's what dictates everything. I'm just a beast. I follow my primal urges, and that tastes good, or whatever I want to do to satiate those desires. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Nom, nom, nom. Yeah, I was going to say, you just look at our natural propensity, even though we're programmable beings, and we have the capacity both for immense great good and immense great evil, whereas non-human animals don't have that propensity, don't have that degree of creative capacity to create in those ranges of great evil and great good. So they're amoral because they don't have the capacity to understand what morality is. But we do, and that's why we're bound to that. Those rules of conduct. That's what morality is. It's about rules. How do we want to operate? And naturally, a child views that as abhorrent, to go take a knife and take the life of another animal. They have to have that natural propensity, that recognition of another animal being, and having the care and compassion and empathy for them. They have to have that killed and smashed and stomped out of them. That's why you see it in cartoons or movies or TV shows. There's like a few of them that I've seen. I don't remember where they are, but I have the image of like, the boys being taught, you're going to become a man today. We're going to go hunting. Yeah, we're going to teach you how to hunt. we're gonna go hunting, and so the boys like they're and he has the aversion to shooting it because he recognized innately as part of his truer potential, his realer potential, his higher potential, how that goes against that innate characteristic that we have within us at the core of man, at the heart of man. And it has to be killed out of you in order to engage in that behavior. And especially if you're going to do it with a knife, that's even, like you were mentioning, it's even a higher level of like people from far away, boom, 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 shoot it in the head, shoot it in the heart. The heart is the way to do it properly, I guess. And
it's more intimate,
if you're going to do it with the knife, that's like people would do, like, even the people who do it with a gun, they'd have an aversion to it. It's like sickening because it's another being. They have eyes, they have teeth, they have ears, they have nose, they breathe oxygen, they have lungs, they have bums, they shit, they piss, they walk, they have limbs, they have arms,
emotions too.
like there's
They
so
have
much about
attachment.
how they're constructed. They're animals. We are animals. We're just a different type of animals who has higher capacities of consciousness, but they're also psychological beings. We're a psychological being. They're psychological beings. They're just a lower order of psychological being, and we're a higher psychological being. And in my work, I've talked about this, and I've talked about the link of the word kingdom, the animal kingdom. There's a reason there's 6 kingdoms of life, 6 classifications, and the animal kingdom is one, because kingdom is kin, our kin, as you were saying, the brothers and sisters. Well, yes, in humanity, we're more kin with our fellow. You could start with your I've talked about it too. It's a circle of identification. So you're yourself, and then you identify with your family, and that's your closest kin. And then you have other people you interact with, and those are your other closest kin. And then you have your community, and you can have your village and your state or province, and then you have the country, and you have the planet. That's the kin of human animals. And then there's also, within our classification as an animal kingdom, there's the kin of the other species. So within our own species, we have our own circles of identification where we identify with those closest to us, and that requires interaction. We care more about those we interact with because we interact with them and we're familiar with them, and we develop bonds through that interaction. So in order for people to actually care about the other animals, they would it would be facilitated. That process would be facilitated by actually interacting with animals, so that they could recognize the other as another being, as another psychological being, their characteristics that they enjoy, and they engage in play. They're playful, and in a lot of the species, that's clearly demonstrable if you interact with them. So people lack that interaction, and then they have it with their cats or dogs, but they don't have it with the others. So they have this dissociation. So rather than an identification, the opposite of an identification is a dissociation. So rather than associate with them, they're disassociated, and they don't recognize the other as another being, a different type of being, but it's still within that scientific classification of a kingdom of life, the animal kingdom, and they are our kin at a different level. And yes, we at the way we currently live, most of us, we don't need to live that way. And if it would push comes to shove and everything breaks down, then I too, even though I've been a non-carnist, aka a vegan, for 10 years, push comes to shove and I needed to survive. Well, I value my life more than the life of another species. Right now, I can value them and respect them because my life is not in jeopardy, and I can eat plenty of things that don't put my life in jeopardy. And I'm not on that low base survival mindset. But everyone else that thinks they need to operate that way, well, you're actually living from a survival mindset rather than doing something in a different way. You think that you need to do it this way for your survival, but it's a distorted thought because it's not actually based in truth. All the things that you require, such as protein, fats, or carbohydrates, you can obtain them through another food source. So you can make a choice. And your survival does not dictate morality. So in that situation where push comes to shove and I would do it, I would not be so deluded as to think, well, my survival is dictating it. Well, now it becomes moral just because I have to survive. Well, no, it doesn't become moral just because you have to survive. Survival does not dictate morality, which unfortunately some people think it does. And even if you look online, I remember like 8 years ago or something, I was like checking online, like who's got what to say about natural law. And I actually came across a site that was like, well, the natural law is whatever you do to survive. Well, that's the natural law. And I was like, holy shit, some people actually think this. So even if they had to like kill someone to survive, like say you can come up with an example of like a Nazi says, well, shoot this baby in the head or I kill you. And if you shoot the baby in the head, well, hey, that's totally fine. You had to survive, so there's nothing immoral about it. No, that was still immoral. You just made a choice. It's all about choice.
Mm-hmm.
So either you can make your choices and your preferences and your likes and dislikes, and you can use that to dictate what is moral, which is moral relativism, because you're taking your subjective self, your inner reality, and you're projecting that outward, and you're going to dictate what is actually objectively true or not. Or you can actually learn and discover what is objectively true, like objective morality, and then you can take that into you. Instead of projecting it outwards, you take it inward, and then you make choices based on that truth, and you make preferences and likes based on that truth, rather than inverting that and taking what you want and what you like and what your choices are, and then because you choose that, well, then that becomes what is moral and you have a right to do, and that's the rules of conduct.
And there's a lot of conflict still today about that. And for to respond to Aaron, why did you go back to vegetarianism? And was veganism not working? Not for me. I've been aware after 4 years that I had lacks of things in my body, and I did have a hard time finding the source. And I enjoyed being a vegan, but this whole thing there, I had to balance my things. I had to rediscover and rethink all the decision, and this is what I suggest to do all the time to the people, and to listen to your body. I get it. I was getting my nails and teeth were bad. You can see it on your nails, your health to your nails, and it was getting bad. And I realized that I was lacking this amino acid and fat in my body. So I decided to go back to vegetarianism, and I don't regret it. I'm still very into the defense of the animals and their rights, and I take it with passion. But I decided to put myself first. And if I'm not healthy and I have a health problem, I cannot do my work. And this is one of the thing. And what the trick that I want to give to people, it's to listen to your body, because your body will tell you things. It's going to talk to you, and then you have to really be attentive to that, being careful, because if you get sick, you're not going to be able to do what you have to do. I have kids, I need to take care of them, and you know what, brother, my children never ate meat ever. They're all vegetarians.
Oh, wow. Cool, man.
So this is where we have to start. We have to start with education and educate the children and show them morality, and morality. And for people, it's going to, it's super complex, man. I can't fucking understand it, and it's very simple. If the action that you're doing, it's causing harm, then you're doing bad things. You're doing something immoral. If the action that you do doesn't cause harm to other, then you're doing good. So do no harm, but take no shit. Don't let yourself fucking trample on, and it's simple for the animals. Are they suffering because of our choice? Yes. So it's immoral. I don't give a fuck what people think. Truth is black and white. There's no gray zones. Is it hurting someone? Yes, it does hurt someone. And I'm not saying it, I'm saying someone. Because animals are sentient. It means that they have emotion, they have attachment, they have grief, they have joy, they have sadness. They can feel all of these things.
Yeah, Fred. I'll go back to the old master-slave dynamic.
Yes. And
in context to what we're talking about right now, in regards to the law of correspondence. And Pasio talked about this. He highlighted a certain essay. I did a cool little remix about that. Was it, C.W. Leadbeater, I think his name was, the pseudonym. And he did a cool essay on, like
exactly.
occultism and vegetarianism. And that was brilliant.
Yep.
And so, what that entails, and I did a video about, the law of correspondence in my, visuals, hermetic principles. I only got discontinued anyways. But what I alluded to at the end was, basically, this whole dynamic of, okay, so if we take the law of correspondence, so humans are having this master-slave dynamic as we're the masters over the animal domain. Yet, who's ruling over us? And it ain't just the fucking elites of the, soiled toilet paper on the pile of shit in the toilet, whatever the fuck. We're talking about like off-planet archons, if you will, even lower or upper astral motherfucking parasites as well, and all that shit. That even these, even the puppet string pullers, they're getting leached the fuck out by these archons as well. So there's like this law of correspondence, how do we break the fuck out of this fucking hell cycle? That's part of, reclaiming our sovereignty and, upholding the true eternal principles of natural law in this 3D dimensional domain. And how many motherfuckers talking about 5D actually bring this shit the fuck up? So what? Like shit. It's so simple, right? Hey, but they want to make it all complex and woo woo and new agey new cagey, but on to the next stagey, I guess. But yeah. Anything else you want to mention? Sorry.
And for the people who don't know what natural law, and I know there's some people who maybe don't know about it, who will listen to it. Natural law are the law of the universe, and is what we're using to know what's going to be the consequence of our behavior. So this is the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. So nature don't give a shit. Nature is really impartial, very it doesn't give a fuck. So what's going to happen if people don't give a fuck? Then nature is going to arrange that in a way that you're going to have this result. So people don't give a fuck about freedom, don't give a fuck about morality, then we have chaos, then we have confusion, then we have debauchery. People don't make kids anymore. Not enough. You know why? Because they were fucking brainwashed into thinking that there were too much people on Earth. This fucking lie, it's a perverse negative knowledge. It's all garbage. It's all satanist fucking propaganda. There's no such thing as of overpopulation. Here in Canada, the population is dwelling. It's scary. We're
Well,
not
that's why
going
they
to
want
be
all the
able to.
immigration, and in the States too. It's coming down now. It's below the repopulation line, the 2.1 or whatever figure. Even in the
Just
States,
imagine that, man. People were fucking indoctrinated into being fucking selfish motherfuckers. Selfish. Narcissist. Sociopath. Now this is the new norm. And for all the men, you know, you're not fucking involved in this, then you're fucking behind. You're that loser who fucking pulling on our t-shirt. This is where you are as a man. Men is it's getting to extinction. What I mean by that, it's not because we're not gonna be less men. It's because there's not gonna be true men anymore. It's all gonna be a fake ass, over emotional, anxious, scared little boy.
same with women. They're the new man, the new human that they refer to it as.
Yeah, men are gonna be women and women are gonna be men. It's crazy. And the consequences that are it's gonna be bad. Because there's nobody's gonna be there to protect you themselves. They're gonna fucking kneel on the floor and they're gonna wait the gun and there's gonna be this fucking shot and they're gonna fucking die doing nothing. Yeah, and the androgynous beings. Yep. Ballless, beardless men. This is what we're having now. Scared little men. Afraid to take their responsibility. Scared from fighting for freedom. What about the children? What about the women? Women is the same thing. Women now, their programming is state oriented. It's money oriented. And I'm not saying that every woman or every man are in this particular condition. But there's a lot of people there. You talk with them and it's empty. It's void. They cannot have a conversation, a meaningful conversation. Forget that. Most of them. I hate small talk. I fucking hate it. I cannot fucking stand it. I already mentioned it with Derek.
Same here.
If you don't talk about the situation and the context now, and you're not talking about freedom, and you're not talking about getting better, having solutions, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
It's gum flapping.
There's so much division, brothers. There's so much division, then there's division into divisions. It's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. But people act like grade school children. It's like you're looking at that. It's like you're looking and you look on the playground, but they're adults and they're fucking fighting over garbage reasons, worthless, inane reasons.
It proves that the stops work pretty well, unfortunately, and that people aren't critically thinking as much as they claim to be sometimes. Unfortunately, is it really the nature of the beast? I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. Can we just get together on some fucking fundamental priorities? Like, hey, no one likes to pay fucking, $5 for like 2 onions or some shit like that. Like, how many angles of oppression do people have to be hit by to actually, feel the fire under their ass to, jump up and do something about the shit, whatever,
Apparently more. They need more chaos. They need more suffering because they don't care enough yet.
Well, I mean, here in Quebec, people will not react, and when they will react, it's gonna be way too late. I don't know what's going on with French Canadians. I don't know what's happening there, but we're in deep shit because it's not only about you have the people who wants the Quebec to be separated from the Canada, and then you have the people who are dissing themselves. You talk French. When you're in Quebec, you have to talk French. Absolutely. And they're this fucking childish fucking arguments, and it's wasted energy. It's fucking.
Well, that's what I was
wasted
thinking.
energy.
That's why. It's because of their ideological attachments, which have them funnel their consciousness, the energy of their consciousness, their thought, emotions, and actions into caring about these things. So it's the divide and conquer Hegelian dialectic of having people divided amongst themselves, not as an individual, but as a fake community within that region of Quebec that we live in. And so they're focused on this language war, and so they go along with it. Oh, bill this, French power to this, and all this stuff. And so then they're like, yeah, that's all I identify as being French, so that's a positive for me. And so it keeps people focused on that conflict of the French versus English, and then they're not looking at how they're being played.
Yeah.
It's just a different flavor of slavery, though. Anyways, at the end,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Sorry.
So there's many things. I think I've been I've been gentle tonight. I consider it being, I mean, more stable and not so angry because you were there, guys, tonight. And I want to thank you, both of you, for being there and sharing this moment with me. I appreciate every minute that you give for this cause and for the people who will listen to that. So thank you so much, guys, for being there. And I'm looking forward to having you once again. We're gonna talk. I'm very busy. It's getting harder, and we have to check ourselves too. I have a lot of projects, I'm gonna talk about that later. I decided to go up a notch for defending myself and defending my family. I decided to go over some things, and it's I think I mean, I'm not paranoid, but I'm fucking thinking about it. I know that it's coming, I've seen it, and I fucking warned people for years. I fucking told them, motherfuckers, just fucking hold on to your app, motherfucker. It's gonna be a storm like you never seen before. It's gonna be bad, and I see it from all these years, degrading and degrading and degrading, and I see it everywhere. And that's why I decided tonight, and that's what I'm gonna do for the two next episode. I'm gonna do about this, the freedom communities, fake ass community, freedom community. I'm very, very tired of this. I'm losing my time with these community. You think that you found someone who was awake, but he was not. They were not awake. They're fucking sleeping at the gas. You're sleeping on gas, and you're slowing me down. You're slowing me. All the people who are doing the effort of bringing this knowledge to people. It's your fucking responsibility. I'm not talking to you both, guys. It's your fucking responsibility to do something about it. You know it's shitty. Do fucking something about it. Get involved. Go work in the community. Help people. Do your own fucking podcast. You don't like podcasts, you can do something. Derek is making mixes of musics. Kris is doing fucking awesome work with slides and information. Great fucking work. evolveconsciousness.org for Kris. Go see that stuff. It's fucking awesome. Hey, Kris, by the way, we need to get these slides translated.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it in the previous podcast.
Flash.
I have the things I plan on doing, and then there's always everything that I do. Well, it'd be good to have it in French, but that's even more work to do. So, yeah, we've talked about it before. It'd be good to do, but yeah, there's a lot to do. And right now, I'm not employed, and I'm looking for a job. And so I did a little burnout of the past 2 months, like focusing on the job search, applying, and upskilling. I was doing like 12-hour days of just like focusing on all that. So this past month I took some time off because it was like too much for me. But I finished my presentation on Natural Law, the Science of Morality, Part 4, Morality. Did it the past 3 nights when the kids go to bed. So I recorded that, and I just have an edit to do of something I got wrong. I'm just gonna cut it out because it was a math thing that I said by accident. I'm just gonna edit that, and then I'm gonna put all 3 pieces together and upload it. It's just under 8 hours.
God damn.
It's very long. I knew it would be long because I had over 100 slides, and I finished at like 138, 136 if you cut like the opening one and the closing one for thanks. So 136, and I knew it'd be big. And I was like, yeah, probably going to be like 7 to 9 hours. And yeah, it was just under 8 with the 3 parts over 3 nights that I did it. And yeah,
awesome,
it's in depth on morality. There's going to be new insights that, well, no one's ever heard before. You guys have heard. I've talked about morality level 1 and 2, but no one that I know of has ever explained it like this, and to like elucidate like why this makes sense and to categorize things. So it's basically like a whole categorization of morality in terms of the violence and the great work of those 2 levels of morality and how they fit together in our complicity in perpetuating things and if we do nothing. So it's a big thing, and it goes into a lot of detail, but for those who go through it, they will gain some insights and some value from it.
When does it goes out? Actually, do you have a date or something like that?
Probably this weekend. I have it open in my editor to find where I need to like chop out the part where I said stupid shit there. That I later on I was like, oh yeah, that's not the way the math works. I was like, okay, I gotta go edit that out and just cut it out rather than sound like an idiot. Because I realized it later I was doing math wrong. Anyways, you won't know what I'm doing because it won't even be there, so you'll know no one will know anything about it because I'm just gonna cut it out.
We got the exclusive cut right here, live on the LIBERcast. That's great. What's up, Leslie Powers? I heard her say bonjour or something like that, but yeah.
So I mean, Derek, if you want to plug your stuff, it's a good time to do it.
I don't know, man. There's so much going on, yo. I'm working on 2 websites right now. I got like 2 main YouTube channels at the same time. Dissolving the Divide with Leslie Powers, which, by the way, earlier, I uploaded our chat that we had that you had us on honorably, what was it, like a week and a half ago, I want to say. Yeah, that was great. Uh, I'm working with someone that just hit me up. He was listening to the music mixes that I have on my channel. Awaken Your Mind. That's one word. Awaken YA Mind. If anyone's interested, listen out there. And it was before the whole wokeness, jokeness crap. Yeah, what's cracking? Yeah, blow it loud, brother. Yeah. It's a funny comment to see, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm working on a website, and I was joking around on a live stream, a la LIBERcast, something like that, just like doing a music mix and talking in between or after it was done, and I was joking around like, yeah, we got to get talking about natural law and like how can we make this more interesting or appealing to like the young kids. They got this weird way with slang and this and that. Everyone wants to emphasize every little single fucking word now. It's like, can y'all just understand grammar from the get-go? And actually, if you want to be cool about it, like learn etymology, yo, straight up. And green language, that shit ain't just for the birds, yo. But you know what I mean? Like, but I was like, yo, like, what's up with that natty law and that kind of shit? I mean, Logan Hart and folks like that say that shit sometimes, But a listener took that shit and ran with it and was like, yo, Derek, I gotta hit you up, man. I bought the domain site for nattylaw.com. So him and I have been working on a new website dedicated completely to natural law over the past like week and a half. And we got a perfect timing, one Great Work Warriors with Kris Jansen, Brandon Spencer, Trip Rick, Jim and Jerry. And yeah, and we're gonna be talking about natural law on a fresh new recording next week. And so it's like perfect timing where I just want to hit this so hard and like not just go over, word for word that, so many people have already in regards to Mark Passio, because we can expand so much and take things further.
Yeah.
And like, that's not a knock on anyone that's done that or Passio himself. It's just about appealing to people that aren't gonna have the eyes glazed over because it's so wordy sometimes or whatever and all this stuff. And yeah, Kris, like over the past week for this thing alone, I snapped up over 120 slides, albums, and made some of my own just because, yeah, like we can all put these things into our own terms and words and still be aligned to these things and incorporate our experiences and just embody it more, because the more we evoke these things and speak about them and just have them in our mind, which is always that first hermetic principle that people really need to step out of that first gate very properly, even gingerly, if you're not used to these things, right? So yeah, anyways, yeah, that's just some words of encouragement, not just like plugins and this and that. Like, all of us were doing so much work for free, and it's all for just like the betterment of humanity, because we all want to see the betterment of every life on earth that is not dealing with the duress of fucking oppressive governments and corporations, occultocracies and oligarchies and the whole fucking nine. So yeah, just taking whatever steps we can towards achieving proper fucking sovereignty for all, and possibly making the oppressors realize that they're oppressing themselves, and for them to stop that motherfucking shit too and actually be on our side. Hey, that'd be cool, I guess, if that's possible. Fuck. But anyways, like,
So yes, thank you, Derek,
yeah, sorry.
for your word. I enjoy your podcast and your stuff as much as Kris's work. They're all important, and we have, please, people, go on their work and go encourage them, share their work and share the word. But before I go, I have a little message for the people who are involved into the occult movement and the freedom movement. Now it's the time, people. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be without not to say conflict, but it's not gonna be without arguments and debates and being able to be sharing these ideas and working. And what's the most important in all of that is working on the same page. Don't be this fucking whiny child, and get your fucking head out of your asses. Because now, as I see it now, right, even in the One Great Work Network, unity is not there. It's not. And when we have to bring support to our brothers and sisters, even if they're not in the One Great Work Network, you know what people do? They're shit in your, and they're in their hands, and they're fucking put it in your face just like that. I'm not gonna name names tonight, because I got pissed off. All this work, these people working together, I consider the One Great Work a serious work. We don't have to agree with everything, with every opinion of other people, but at least, motherfuckers, work on the same page. We can do way fucking better than that. I know that because I talked to a lot of them. I've seen them. I've seen the snakes. I've seen the good people. I saw all of them. So don't let other people get you out of your path. Don't be a fucking loser. This fucking loser who's running out behind you. Leave your fucking biases. Leave your garbage out of this. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you're gonna feel about it. I don't give a fuck. I just want the One Great Work to be a place of unity. If we need help, if we need support, we're supposed to be able to do it all together. But it's not happening now. You have hypocrites, pretentious people. I cannot fucking believe this shit. It makes me fucking angry. I'm not gonna go on to that. I don't want to talk about this, but still fucking makes me angry. And seriously, I'm not better than the others. I make mistakes. I keep on. I'm probably gonna do some more mistakes. I'm not perfect, but at least, motherfuckers, get your head out of your asses. This is the only one thing that I want to do. And for the people who are on the One Great Work Network and they're not active, what the fuck are you doing? You're there because it's validation. I look at this stuff. I follow as most people as I can. Kris Jensen, and then Leslie. I'm sharing this stuff. Mark Passio, Will Keller is doing a killing job of doing this work. But I want to see more of it. There's a lot of people here who are not active. They're not doing something. And I'm gonna finish on that. Don't wait and for the love of this work, of the great work, be careful and be respectful of the people who are in the movement. Not everybody has the same experience. Not everybody have the same baggage. It's not because you're in fucking echo chamber that everything is fine, motherfuckers. You want to get involved, and the people in the one great work, there's a lot of people who are doing the work, but there's a lot of people who don't do anything. And for the people who want on the one great work, or the people who are not in the occult and the spiritual movement, this is the fucking time now. Do fucking something. Not tomorrow. Do it fucking now. Get involved. You don't know, you're not sure. There's plenty of people who will fucking help you. My email address is fucking accessible from YouTube. I'm accessible from Facebook. So if you need help, you want to learn something, a thing or two, just fucking contact us. Just Kris as such. Just the work of Kris is fucking, you have hours of stuff there, and it's fucking brilliant. Go there and just start by that, and go see Mark Passio's work and Will Keller's work, and Nate Capps. Nate, what? That's it. There's a lot of fucking good people.
Cubbyhole.
The Cubbyhole, yes, exactly. There's Brendan and Douglas and all these workers their knowledge is incredible. So thank you everyone for being patient with us tonight, to have shared your time, and thank you for the people who will listen to it later. You're the pillars of the LIBERcast, and thank you again for my guests, Derek Bartocelli and Kris, for being there tonight and sharing our time with us. And there's going to be a continuation of that. Essentially, I barely covered because I had the chance and the honor of having these two beautiful people with me, but there's going to be a continuation of that. And I'm letting the glove down, people. So have a good night. Take care of yourselves and get fucking involved into the work. It's now that we fucking need it. It's getting worse every day. So get involved.
Yeah, financial prison's coming. CBDCs are coming. 2030. That's a big date for rolling out a bunch of the control grid. So yeah, times the noose is getting tightened even more and more.
Damn, yeah, fuck.
Yeah, so let's keep in touch. And for the people who have the message, they have the brain to fucking understand it. Then in the One Great Work Network, I'm gonna fucking point this community there. People, what the fuck are you doing?
There's a lot of potential. I'd love to see more. People can enrich it in so many different ways and create, little niches or whatever, little tasks force. You never know what's going on with 70 content creators. So yeah,
there's plenty to discover.
Being
there.
on the same page, as you said, and finding the right priorities and sticking to them with that focus.
And I want to talk about this, Derek, but I'm thinking about contacting Corey and try to do something. We need to fucking.
Let's all move to Florida and hang out with him and get that.
I cannot do that, man. But
he wants to do so much, and it's great. I feel bad because he's not even getting like the support that he deserves.
Yeah,
he's been calling out things for even like the second Freedom Summit. I submitted my thing. If anyone wants to get involved, hey, contact Corey. Submit a 1-minute fucking video of like answer a simple question. What is the most important thing you need to know in this life? Is that fucking hard, people? I push this shit in like, 5 different videos, and like it's so minimal on my end because, it's so much easier to lay back and relax and watch videos, but it's a lot different than to fucking like be on the fucking action side of things and fucking, you know what I mean? Like be a viable player. We need y'all. Like I said before, we can be all, whatever, or we can be like, hey, whatever flavor it seems like. What the fuck even works for people to, get up and run with these things that we speak about? Anyone speaks about. We're no one special or whatever, right? We're just trying to do what's fucking right. Right, Fred?
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to get involved. Don't worry. Life is just a movie. You can just watch it go by and watch the evil grow. Don't worry about it.
It's all an
ignore us. You
experience.
do not need to get involved, okay? We're just a bunch of crazy people, and it's just a movie, okay, that you're just watching. You're just a spectator.
Popcorn.
So just forget about it.
Fucking Matrix shit there. Yeah, well, I mean, when you get out of a Matrix, you get into another one, and that's what people don't fucking understand. Yeah, the fucking 5D garbage. When you mentioned that, I was laughing, brother. I God damn, what the fuck are you doing, people? Waiting for the extraterrestrial to help you from your stupidity. Well, that's a subject for another conversation. So take care, people, and thank you for being there. And see you real soon.
Much
It's
love,
gonna
Fred.
be
Thank you.
a few days.
Peace.
So take care. Bye.